whatever HMO covered their patient. The meds helped too, of course. Well, none of that stuff applies to me. I was getting along just fine, and then I started having nightmares where I was the judge and the defendant. We even had the same terrible hairstyle. Traumatic, Leah replied, and managed to keep a straight face. You don't know the half of it. And then I dreamed I was on a cruise. Well, a slave ship. But it was like a cruise, because I was white, so I didn't have to row or anything, you know? Food sucked, though. I kept waking up hungry and seasick. Number 6116 made a shooing motion, waving off nightmare-induced motion sickness. So the meds worked, right? I mean, obviously you've got that I've got a secret expression all you insiders are terrible at hiding. Not all of us, Leah mumbled. She made a mental note to work on hiding her expressions better. Just because she was jaded didn't make it right to be lazy, too. I always thought it was kind of a joke. Medication plus insider equals hello memories. But I could almost feel you digging around in my brain. Peeking. Spying. Leah made no comment, just let the silence stretch out. A pity number 6116 was only interesting when she allowed her paranoia to show. Peeking and spying, she replied. Yes, that's about right. What's wrong with me? What isn't wrong with you? Don't worry, number 6116. You're in good, bad company. There's plenty wrong with me, too. Insiders had come along, evolutionarily speaking, shortly after man took up hobbies like cave painting and wearing the fur of the animals they clubbed to death. They weren't always called insiders, but at least they weren't alone in that the names of their persecutors changed too. From shamans to witches, the Salem witch trials were a particularly bad time to be an insider. From pagans to Christians, from water dowsers to spiritual mediums, rhabdomancy to haruspices, and today, insiders. Tomorrow, Leah thought with morbid humor, those weirdos who knew everyone's past life before we killed them all. Though they were accepted, with reservations, as essential medical personnel, her kind had rarely had it easy. People who knew things they shouldn't have always been feared. Leah could remember researching as a teenager, shivering at how in the 12th and 13th centuries, not only was it legal to kill an insider, there was a strict protocol to be observed. Pluck out the eyes first, burn the rest, bury the ashes, salt the earth the ashes were in. And never speak of this again. Can I get an amen, brothers and sisters? Today it was about clean offices and HMO plans, receptionists and patient referrals. Once upon a time, it had been the ducking stool and hot pinsers. The modern version, paperwork, was almost as bad. It was always unpleasant, but at least inciting was no longer an automatic death sentence. Unless, of course, you were the late, somewhat lamented Ginny Devon, formerly of Portland, Maine, now embarked on her 4th life, hopefully. Ginny Devon had been less than 2 years out of graduate school. Doctoral thesis? A Child Shall Lead Them, Children's Insights from Arthur Flowerdew to Shanti Devi. When she was murdered by a patient's disgruntled husband, a serial cheater who didn't appreciate being told he'd once been Henry VIII. He had waited for her to leave the office, smashed her car window with a recoilless hammer, used a water gun filled with gasoline to drench her face and hair, then tossed a match and settled down to await arrest. He explained to the arresting officers that yon crispy critter had no right to snoop through his past, and certainly no right to discuss it with his wife, who was in the middle of scoring half of his net worth thanks to, as he described it, a fireproof prenup. He was apparently unaware of the dreadful irony. He had explained to the grand jury that his wife had been out of line to hire someone to snoop through his past lives, like a PI who didn't have to go through legal